Good morning, students. I am Gagan Bhatia from Springfields Public School. I hope you are fine and taking care of yourselves. Today we will be starting with Civics lesson number 2, Pillars of Democracy. We have already done lesson number 1, Democracy, and lesson number 2 of Civics, Pillars of Democracy, is closely linked with lesson number 1. Democracy is considered as the best form of government. We will discuss essential elements which are required for the successful working of a democratic government. Some of the main features of this chapter are enlightened citizens, wise leadership, sound public opinion, accommodation of differences, disciplined citizens, disciplined political parties, social and economic equality. Let us start with the first part, enlightened citizens. Democracy stands for expression of the will of the people. It is the very basis of a democratic government. To make the right choices and to arrive at the right decisions, every citizen should be well informed and socially responsive. It does not mean that they should be highly educated or possess university degrees, but they should be enlightened enough to make responsible decisions. So, enlightened citizens will be able to judge the performance of the government and make the correct choices of their representatives. Changes are brought about by the collective will of the people and not by the force. To make right decisions, every citizen should be well informed and socially responsive. Political awareness is an important condition of democracy. Citizens must be enlightened enough to make responsive decisions. Wise leadership. In larger countries, people cannot directly administer themselves. They elect political leaders to represent them in legislature. Political parties contest elections by fielding their candidates. Children, when the leaders of your class are elected, we often give you the examples of some of the famous leaders, and this is how you people become wise leaders in future also, which is another important feature of democracy. Party leaders enlighten the voters at the time of elections. This helps the people to make up their minds about whom to vote for. Once the elections are over, the party which gets the majority forms the government. Thus, if the voters are enlightened, they will elect leaders who are efficient and committed. In this way, our country will progress. If none of the parties gets a majority, a coalition government is formed in which different parties jointly claim to form government on a common program. Sound public opinion, which is another important feature of democracy. Children, I have already explained you in detail about this topic in your lesson number 1. But still in brief, let me tell you, a democratic system grants people the right to formulate sound public opinion and the right to express it properly. What is public opinion? The wishes of the people on any issue or problem may be described as public opinion. It may not be the opinion of all the people. It generally is the opinion of majority of the people. Your opinion matters. Children, what you think about a particular problem or about your issue, others might not be thinking the same way. So this is only about your view, about your opinion that others might be looking upon. There are many mass medias which help in creating the public opinion. There can be press, there can be television, computer, Facebook, laptop, and newspapers, etc. Accommodation of differences. Children, differences can be there on the grounds of color, caste, creed, gender, etc. The above feature refers to listen the opposite voices of people in the society. Suppose a majority government, after coming to power, takes out some important work to which some section of society are not happy, the differences of the minority will also be kept into consideration. At what time, what will the government do? Whether they will just ignore opposite voices or will they try to convey the thoughts and discuss with people opposing the decision? Yes, in true democracy, government will try to convey the thoughts to the opposition by either dialogue or mass education, etc. So, in a democracy, every group, however small it may be, must be allowed to voice its opinion. Tolerance and inclusiveness are important features of democracy. Tolerance is a virtue which makes for a successful democracy. All should respect the rights and views of others. Disciplined citizens. Children, we often hear our principal ma'am guiding the children to be disciplined. Now you must be thinking, why does she do so? She does so that you people become disciplined and responsible citizens of the country in future. So, for efficient working of a democratic government, the citizens of the country need to be politically aware and disciplined, and this thing starts from your school itself. Citizens should be aware of their rights and duties because rights and duties go hand in hand. People should respect the views of others even if those views are in sharp contrast with their own. Disciplined political parties. If the leaders are disciplined, automatically the citizens will also be disciplined and vice versa. Political parties are soul of democracy. Political parties should not stand for a particular group, region, religion or caste. They should have a national outlook. National integration, not fragmentation, that is division, should be the goal of all political parties. Social and economic equality. As I have discussed about this topic also in detail in your lesson number 1 of civics, but still to sum up this topic again, I will tell you about it in a brief way. A democratic society should be free from all forms of discrimination such as caste, subcaste, gender, region and language, which becomes and comes under social equality. Whereas economic equality is one where there should be no discrimination on the grounds of money, that is rich or poor. All sections of the society should be equal partners in the development of the community. Social justice is at core of true democracy. People should be guaranteed justice and fairness in the everyday life. Whether rich or poor, weak or powerful, servant or owner, all should be equal before rule of law. Human dignity is the core value of democracy. A society can be called democratic only if all its members are respected as human beings and with dignity, that is respect. That's it with the chapter. Now I just end the chapter by suggesting you to be staying safe and calm at your homes. Thank you children. Take care. All the best.